and welcome to this talk. My name is Quentin. I've been working at ACSONE as an Odoo developer for the past 6 years now. And I had the opportunity to work with a wide variety of customers. And some of those customers had needs for an e-commerce solution. So together with my colleagues, we fulfilled their needs with the help of Shopinvader. And I will talk to you a bit more about that today. This presentation will be split into 2 parts. So first, we will have a look at the possible solution for doing e-commerce with Odoo. Of course, I'll detail a bit more the Shopinvader solution. And in the second part, I will try to guide you to choose the Shopinvader modules that you need to set up your first e-commerce API. Sorry, but you people didn't miss anything. I was just introducing this presentation. So, if we're talking about Odoo and e-commerce, probably the first thing that should come to your mind is the standard solution, the Odoo e-commerce application. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then we'll take a step back out of the Odoo ecosystem and see what dedicated e-commerce softwares are offering. And finally, we'll talk about Shopinvader, why and how. So, if you're using Odoo, the Odoo e-commerce application is certainly the fastest and the easiest way to set up an e-commerce website. It has great customization tool with the website editor. It is quite cheap as well. It has a lot of features. Overall, it's a good tool. But there are cases where you might feel limited by this solution. I will give you a few examples. First, and in my opinion, mainly, if you need to scale big and work with huge catalog of products, you may experience problems with performances, because Odoo is not at the core meant for searching a huge amount of records and to provide fast search in those set of records. Also, maybe your Odoo instance is already quite slow, and there are a lot of running tasks in background that may slow down your website. And the other way around, if you have a lot of traffic on your website, you may experience some slowness in your Odoo instance. There are also other possibilities, other reasons why you wouldn't want to work with the Odoo standard solution. For example, it's a pretty good practice to separate the life cycle of your different applications. So that, for example, if tomorrow the next Odoo version has great features for the e-commerce, and you would like to benefit from those features, that means that you have to migrate your whole Odoo instance. Maybe you don't have the time, the money to migrate your whole Odoo now, and so you cannot benefit from those new features, etc. That's just an example, but generally speaking, separating life cycles of your different applications offers a lot more comfort. Also, you maybe have a customer which already has a website and a lot of tools, a CMS and so on, to support good infrastructure to support this website. You just want to add an e-commerce part to this website. Then working with this Odoo application won't allow him to use the CMS and the tools he already has. And finally, also a quick word about security. For example, at ACSONE, we have this example of a customer which is public administration. And for them, there is completely no way that they would agree to expose the ERP over the internet. And if you work with this application, you have to expose the Odoo because that's Odoo. But anyway, if you need to go quickly for cheap, and you don't have a huge catalog of products and you have quite basic needs, this application is really great, and you will have great benefits from working with it. On the other hand, if you need more complex, more advanced features and so on, you might get interested in looking at what are doing the e-commerce dedicated softwares. There you have a bit of everything, really. You have things that look a lot like the Odoo e-commerce applications, and on the other end, you have really more complex solutions. Some don't offer the website editors, but have really advanced features, and most importantly, dedicated architecture for e-commerce, so that it offers great performances, good scaling, and so on. Although the price can get quite expensive, and also the main trouble you will have is to integrate it with Odoo, certainly. Because at the end of the day, you want your sale to end up in Odoo. You want to be able to make your accounting and reporting and so on in Odoo. And with those tools, you will need a mechanism to synchronize your e-commerce sales with Odoo. So first of all, you need to synchronize, so you will have duplicated logic and data in your Odoo and your e-commerce solution. For example, let's talk about the discount computing. Computing the discount can be complex. You can have a lot of rules, and the computation can be quite difficult. If you make a sale in Odoo, Odoo will compute the price of your products according to the discounts, and that's it. If you want to have exactly the same price in your Odoo e-commerce, good luck. If your price computation is complex, good luck, because first you need to replicate the logic that you already have at one place in Odoo, and you have to do exactly the same in your software, e-commerce software. And to make it correctly and make it work the same way, you will need a lot of tweaking. It will cost time and effort to achieve that. But it's still possible, and this is also a solution that you can really go for, because those tools offer really great features and good performances. And then a few years ago, we came up with this solution, which is Shopinvader, when we wanted to try to get the best of the both worlds. So we wanted a dedicated architecture that will support and provide good performances and good scaling and so on. But we wanted to work with Odoo and with the Odoo records and Odoo models. So that in Shopinvader, the addresses of the customers, they are REST partners. The payment providers, the delivery carrier, and so on, everything comes from Odoo. And most importantly, your shopping cart is a sale order. And that means a lot, because when you will add products, you will add lines to your sale orders, and you will benefit from all the features, all the computation from Odoo. You will easily compute the prices with the discounts. You will be able to manage the stocks. You will be able to invoice your sale and pay the invoice or the sale, etc., etc. Now I will explain a bit more what it looks like a Shopinvader project. This is an example of a possible architecture. This is generally how it looks like at ACSONE. We have variations depending on the customers, but this is the idea of the main components we put together to provide this solution. If we look at the role of Odoo in this architecture, Odoo does three things. First and mainly, it provides an API for the front end, so that when from the front end you want to create a cart and add some products, it will call the Odoo API. When it needs to get the delivery address of the customer, you will get it from the API, and so on. A few words about this API. First, we wanted to make it work. We wanted to be able to have a front end that can keep running if your Odoo instance is down because of a crash of a maintenance or whatever. Your customer will still be able to play with your website and add products to the cart. The only moment they will be blocked is at checkout time, because then you need to push some data to Odoo to create the sale order and confirm it, etc., and make the payments, etc. That you cannot do if your Odoo instance is down, but otherwise you can still use your website. That's the first thing. Also, during this last year, we've migrated Shopinvader to the version 16. And we did not only migrate the Shopinvader, we also did a lot of refactoring. So first we get rid of some code that was a bit too complex, and we wanted to make Shopinvader easier to understand and to discover for newcomers as well. And we introduced some new tools like Fast API that we are using now that allow us to reduce massively the amount of code to validate automatically all the data and to auto-generate the documentation, so that you're just coding and then Fast API will provide the documentation so that your front-end developer can easily know what is expected from the API and what the API expects from its call. So I can show you a couple of examples of tools we have now in Shopinvader to ease the work of the front-end developer that must interact with. Maybe if I have time at the end of this presentation, I will show you a couple of things. That was the first thing Odoo is doing. Second, and really important as well, Odoo exports the catalog of products to a search engine. A search engine is a kind of database that is designed and meant for providing quick search. And this is completely appropriate for this use case of an e-commerce website. And thirdly, if you want to, we usually are doing it at ACSONE, is to export the media files, typically the product images, to a CDN, also to fasten the rendering of your website. By the way, I'm talking a lot about the performances. Performances are really key in the world of e-commerce. If your website is slow, it will be less promoted by Google. The less Google promotes your website, the less customers visit your website, and the less sale you make. So this is really important, and this is why we are stressing this kind of architecture that allows us to provide great performances. So the front end, call the API to push and get data from Odoo, get the product catalog from the search engine, get the images from the CDN. If you want, you can add a CMS to manage the content of your website. And also, you'll need an identity and access manager, something like Keycloak, for example, that will handle the account of the customers and the authentication. If you go fully anonymous, you don't need this, but otherwise you need a solution for the customers' accounts. A couple of things to note. Also, we have a project which is called Shopinvader Nuxt.js template. That is a Nuxt.js template to help you get started if you want to build your front end from scratch using Nuxt.js. There you have already everything you need to communicate with the API that will help you get started really easily. And also, I want to insist that this is an example. At the end, Shopinvader is an API. You can do whatever you want with this API. I know, for example, at ACSONE, they have customers that are using dedicated softwares for e-commerce, and they're doing this synchronization part that I talked about earlier with the help of some parts of the Shopinvader API. So this is really versatile, and you can use it however you like. So you see here that we get this architecture dedicated for great performances. We are using Odoo records directly. This is at the cost of a little of setup. You have things to set up and configure, as you see. You have a front end to develop. But once you're done with this first part, you have a really great solution for your e-commerce website that will work great and will give you a lot of benefits. That's it for the first part about e-commerce and Shopinvader. Now we'll see how to start with an e-commerce website. I identified 4 core features of an e-commerce website. You need a product catalog to display the products to the potential customers. They should be able to search this catalog, filter it, etc. Then you need a cart management system so that they can add and remove products to their cart. A payment gateway, because at the end you want to get the money from your customers. And you need something for shipping, except if you're selling, I don't know, digital stuff or services or whatever. In most cases, you need to deliver the goods to your customers. So if we look at the product catalog, you typically want a kind of page like this on your website with a list or a mosaic of products and some search bar and filters. You can filter on materials, colors, etc. For this, you will need those 5 Shopinvader modules. They're all about search engine, of course, because this is where we will export the product catalog. The first and main module is Shopinvader Search Engine. This one will allow you to export the product and the categories to the search engine. Then, in my opinion, almost mandatory is the search engine update, so that when you edit your product, the system will catch that and will recompute and re-export the search engine binding of this product, so that your products are always up to date and look on your website exactly like they look in Odoo. To add the URL of the images, you have Shopinvader Search Engine Image, Shopinvader Search Engine Product Price. This is an example of something you can use to add the price to your product. You can imagine many ways to compute and get the prices. This is the most simple way. You just configure a price list, and then all the prices of your products will be computed based on this price list. But if you have more complex needs, yes, you can look for other modules or develop your own module for the price. And finally, you need a mechanism to decide what products should appear on your website and what products should not appear. For that, you have, for example, Shopinvader Search Engine Assortments. So you will work with domain and link some product assortments to your search engine index. You can also work with sales channel. This is another way, and then you put products in sales channels and link the sales channels to the search engine index. Or you can also imagine your own mechanism, but those 2 mechanisms are already available for Shopinvader. If we look at the cart management, you only need one module, Shopinvader API Cart. It will allow you to add and remove products to your cart and proceed to checkout. My colleague Marie Lejeune gave a presentation about this API last year here, and so you can find it online. I will give you also the link at the end of this presentation if you want if you're curious about this API and all the features. You can go check this presentation as well. For the payments, you will need Shopinvader API Payment Card that will allow you to pay a card, and Shopinvader API Payment Provider something. Here I put Stripe. You also have SIPs or other payment providers. You can add your own payment providers modules if you need to. The only restriction is that it should be payment provider supported by Odoo, of course. And finally, for delivery, Shopinvader API address will allow you to get and update the addresses of the customers, delivery addresses, invoicing address. And Shopinvader API delivery carrier will allow you to choose amongst the available delivery carriers in Odoo and compute the delivery price and so on. So that's it. That was 10 modules. That's all you need to build your first API that will already have a lot of features and that can support your first e-commerce website. Now, once you have played a bit with those modules and you feel comfortable with Shopinvader, of course, we have a lot more to offer. We have many modules with a lot of features. You have modules for computing loyalty programs and coupons, for example. You have modules for wish list. If you want to add a contact form that create a lead in your Odoo, you have something for that also. You have things for cross-selling. You have many things. A lot of features that you usually see on e-commerce websites are available thanks to those modules. Yeah, this presentation comes slowly to an end. I just wanted to mention that the screenshots you've seen in my presentation were taken from websites that are done with Shopinvader at ACSONE. Here are two examples. If you want to see what a Shopinvader e-commerce website looks, you can go to WooKids or Tonic. If you want more references, I have more as well. You have link to the repository, the Next.js template, which I told you about, and the presentation of my colleague Marie. And finally, I just wanted to give up to thumbs up to our friends at ACSONE, Cam2Cam, ForceFlow, and all the community members that help us to build, improve, and expand Shopinvader over the years. Thank you. I see that I went a bit fast, so I have still a couple of minutes, I think. I can quickly just show you those tools that I talked about that will help the front-end developer work with Shopinvader. With Fast API, you have this kind of interface where you can see all the schemas of the API, and you can try some requests to the API on the left side. And on the right side, you see also that in Odoo, on the index record, we store the definition of the index that is for the bindings that are exported to the search engine. And so you can see all you can expect from those bindings in your search engine. Does anyone have questions?
You talked about the search engine. What's the tech powering that search engine? Or is it of your choosing?
We are working, at ACSONE we are working with two of them, which are OpenSearch or Elasticsearch. They use the same template. That's the OpenSearch standard. Yeah?
If you update, for instance, the attributes of the products in the Odoo backend. Sorry, if you... I don't want to? Okay, if you update the products, the attributes of the products in the Odoo backend, is there any issues on like the recency of those reflected in the search engine then? I mean, does it take considerable time to to move all the attributes to the search engine, or is that done comparably fast?
The best configuration is, we're using cron jobs for that. The best configuration is cron jobs that are running every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes we recompute the bindings that are set to be recomputed, so that when you modify your product, instantly your binding is set to be true recompute. Then the job runs every 5 minutes and get all those bindings marked to recompute them, and we have another jobs that runs also every 5 minutes, and that take all the bindings that are to export. So once they are recomputed, they go into the state to export, and this second job export them, and that is really fast. And it's up to your own configuration as well. We have 5 minutes jobs, but that's how we want.
But in that regard, it pretty much depends on the amount of changes you do in the Odoo backend, how effectively that works, right? I mean, if you have 60,000 products and change a lot of attributes on all that products, then even the 5 minutes may not suffice to put everything in the search engine, right?
Yeah, then your job will take time running.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We don't. This is not an issue we really have. It's reasonable time.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. Thank you.